Star Wars has been in a very bad place, and over the past few years, with every single project they've released, there's been some kind of controversy that surrounded them. But now, Star Wars lead Ewan McGregor is making a desperate plea asking fans to write to Disney for a second season of Obi-Wan. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Now, I think that as an actor, he's not half bad, but I think as an individual, he's definitely made a lot of questionable decisions over the years in the movies that he's picked and the PR that he's done for those movies. This is a Bounding Into Comics article. It says, in making a request that perhaps only he and 7 other Disney Star Wars fans truly want to see fulfilled, Obi-Wan Kenobi has asked audiences to write to Disney in order to petition them for a second season of the Disney Plus series. Now, I initially was so excited for Obi-Wan season 1 because I was really hoping that it would be focused on Obi-Wan and we would have so many other character cameos, of course, most notably Anakin slash Darth Vader. And while we did get half of what people were expecting, the other half was just extremely disappointed. Like some of the side characters, they added like Reva. She was a very controversial character, and of course the fact that they basically made it the Leia show. While I do love Leia as a character, she just was not really needed as much as she was put in this series. I felt like they really oversaturated the entire season with her, and that's why I think a lot of people did not end up enjoying Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 and why most people do not want a season 2. But it says the longtime franchise star made his plea during a panel appearance following a conversation regarding his time on set filming the solo Star Wars series. He revealed that at the end of the day he was very happy with how the production ultimately turned out, which is great. As an actor, you want to be proud of what you've created, and even if nobody else is really that thrilled with it, at least he is. I guess that's something. But he also then admitted, I just hope we can do another one, before turning to ask the MegaCon attendees for their help in making that happen. Can everyone write to Disney? If we just, I'll give you some email addresses at the end, just say, Dear Disney, let's have another, let's have a bit more of Obi-Wan Kenobi, please. And this comes across as so desperate. You should not be begging people to watch your content. That is so petty as an actor, especially when you're someone as big as him, right? I get it. He loves Star Wars. He loves playing Obi-Wan, and I do think that he has done this character a lot of justice over the years. Don't get me wrong, but I still just think that an Obi-Wan season 2 is off the table at this point for not only Disney, but also fans. I think that they've kind of come to understand that fans will most likely not watch a season 2, and of course they could always go ahead and greenlight one anyway, but it's not on their schedule for the next few years unless they decide to randomly add that in. And again, I just think that this is so petty. As an actor, he knows Disney Star Wars has completely fallen off, so he has to ask people to take time out of their day and beg this company for another season, even though, again, he's a bigger actor. It's not like he hasn't been in a lot over the years and he's primarily just been in Star Wars. That is not the case at all whatsoever, but I don't think that they would greenlight a season 2, but I also think that fans would be furious because of the way that he has treated us before, when Obi-Wan season 1 released, and even before that he has attacked fans that of franchises that he has worked on. Of course, I'm sure that you'll all remember, Ewan McGregor stands behind Moses Ingram following her claims of fan racism. If you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. So he's saying, oh yes, if you went and bullied this actress, which by the way, we never really saw any proof that she was being bullied, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. Yet now he's basically asking every Star Wars fan to go ahead and write to Disney, begging them for another season of this show. Again, he's not a half bad actor, but at the same time, he blindly supported, Disney and Moses Ingram's claims that she was receiving, hordes of racist backlash, when all we were doing was criticizing maybe her acting skills at some points, but also her character. Reva was just a random character that nobody had asked for, nobody particularly liked, and they have tried to sell merchandise for her character since the show came out, and it all sold terribly. Like, they had a Reva lightsaber, which did abysmally. They had Reva like action figures, which also did not do good. It's not about her skin color, it is about the way her character was written. Half of the things that happened with her character didn't make sense, but also people just did not like the show in general. I mean, Moses Ingram said a lot that killed a lot of hype about how, you know, how she prepared for racist backlash. The decision with Vader where he lets her live was ridiculous. Then highlighting Leia in this show wasn't awful, but people expected less of her and the focus to be solely on Obi-Wan. And to make it even worse, he also admitted that they were not even going to add Leia as the, you know, main child in this scenario. It was supposed to be Luke, because he revealed Disney Plus was originally going to be a story about me and Luke, which is ultimately what everybody wanted. Having some of Leia in there would have been fantastic as well, don't get me wrong, but we got no Luke when people wanted Luke and Obi together. That would have been so fantastic to see the dynamic of that relationship and how it grew over the years. That is what people wanted, and if they had done this, people would have been so much more pleased with the series. But Ewan McGregor is no stranger to controversy and to attacking people. When he had worked on Birds of Prey, which was another abysmal movie, he said he was proud to be in a film that was a feminist film and that tackled misogyny. And to top all of this off, if you did not know, he is married to Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who of course was in Scott Pilgrim. She has been in Star Wars, and over the years, yes, she has been the star in several feminist projects or female-centric projects that clearly have a bit of a narrative behind them. So it just kind of, you know, all has added up and not in his favor, because there are so many people who say, yeah, you played a good Obi-Wan once long ago in a galaxy far away, but we just are not really that big of a fan of you anymore, because you have made several decisions, again, like attacking fans. You don't do that. You don't attack fans and call them racists and misogynists, but then also go and beg for their support. Not even 2 years later, you go and beg them to write to Disney because you are so desperate for another season of this show. If season 1 was more in line with what fans wanted, it would have went spectacularly, at least in my opinion. Obviously, we'll never know because that's not the iteration of the show we got, but it's just so unfortunate to see an actor basically have to beg for another season of a show and completely not understand why Obi-Wan season 1 did not do all that well for them in terms of viewership or ratings. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.